Welcome back to Monday Mod Tips. I'm filming this as part of the patron build I did last week. One thing that people have asked is how I keep track of the screws when they come out of a blaster. How do you know which ones go back where? Now, if you can leave them in their respective holes when you take it apart, if you're just opening it and not going to be doing anything with that side of the shell, that's one way to do it. Alternatively, you can just try to remember, but Nerf has this tendency to have lots of different screw lengths, as you can see, and sometimes it is hard to remember which ones came out of where, and if you put them in the wrong ones and you drill it or screw down too tightly, you can put a hole clean through the other side of the shell. You also run the risk of stripping out your screw posts. So a trick that I learned watching, I believe it was Brett who I saw do it first. It might have been Lance. They can fight over who has credit for this. But if you keep the instructions from your blaster, there is always a decent-sized picture of the blaster. And unfortunately, it's generally not of the screw hole side. It's usually the other side, the side that they paint. But you can take the screws as you take them out and push them through the instructions at the locations that they came out of. And that way you know where to put them back when you go to reassemble. It also conveniently keeps all of your screws in one place. If you're dumping them in something like a magnetic tray, that's fine, but having them loose, it's really easy to then bump things and scatter them all over the place. Now, if you are a collector who likes to keep the instructions for whatever reason, I'm sure there are people that do that. You can obviously print just a wireframe picture from it online. They usually exist. People have created most of the major Nerf guns at this point for doing as templates for painting. Alright, so there is all of the screws. There ended up being 3 different lengths, and so that definitely helps you keep track of that. You can then set this aside until you get back to reassembly. Now, furthering disassembly, in a lot of blasters you're going to want to open the shell very carefully and very slowly because springs can spring and then you lose them or you can't figure out how it goes back together. Definitely when you get it open, take a minute and look at where everything is. It's also a good idea possibly to take a picture of where all of the parts were before you started pulling things out so that you can figure out where they go when you're done. There are usually pictures of the internals of all Nerf blasters online, but there are some that I've never been able to find. Nobody seems to have taken the time to upload them, and so it's often a very good idea to keep track so that you can figure it out when you're done, because there are a fair number of small moving parts in these things sometimes, and it's handy to know where everything went. I'll have a video on disassembling internals probably next week, and then we'll have videos on reassembly. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, requests for future videos, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching.